Right, pop testing some injectors. Obviously, as with anything diesel, you need to make sure you've got a clean, sterile environment, no grit, nothing like that. Make sure, you know, no contaminants can get into your system. Blah. Yeah, whatever. Right, pop tester. I strongly recommend you get one of these because you have no idea what your injectors are doing without them. They're about 40 quid off eBay. Little handle, fill it with diesel, and it does this, and it sends it out through this. Now, what I'm about to show you is an injector that for some reason I picked up in a batch of loads and is the ideal case. Hear the noise? One squeeze and you can barely see any spray at all. That is the noise you want, and that is the way you want it to behave. As you push the handle down, yeah, and then of course you want the pressure to stay up in the system. You don't want the nozzle to drip when it's up and pressurized. But look, let's be honest, you ain't getting this. Now let me show you some bad ones and let me show you what you can get them to, because you will not be getting them to this stage. So this is what you're gonna get, is this, if you're lucky. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. It's giving a bit of a spray as you push, but what you actually need to do, rather than just taking the handle down slowly, you need to give them a good push, because otherwise there's no way of really knowing. So that's a bit better. You see what I mean? That's actually not a bad one. Let me try and find a bad one. Here we go. Here's a fairly bad one. Oh, yeah, do you see? Not great. Okay, there's 100 different things about these, okay? You can just go on forever, but look, there's a whole series of holes in the end of the nozzle, right? They need to be clear, and mostly when you take these out, you're going to find that, you're going to find that one or two of them are blocked. They're really hard to unblock, and the reason for that is because there's such a small hole. So, a couple of tricks to do it. What you need to get an injector a bit better, myrrh. I'll explain why in a minute. Brake parts cleaner. Blow lamp. So what are you doing? First of all, you are splitting the injector. So you are undoing, you're putting that in the vise, the bottom piece in the vise, and then you're undoing this top piece. And you're taking out the nozzle. Now, these can be a bitch to get out. And you can warm them, because it's the thread here. It's the thread on that bit there. You can warm them, but, and here's a warning to you, if you blew the nozzle, it will never work right again. See how the nozzle blued there? That's finished, okay? You can try, but you won't succeed. So, okay, how does this work? Well, it's very simple. In there's a seat, and there's the little pin that sits in it. And the pressure of the diesel unseats that off the seat, and it lets the diesel flow through those tiny little holes in a lovely little spray. So the tiny little holes are in the tip of that. It won't focus to give me that for sure. Let's try. Oh, fingers on the camera. God, I'm such a professional. Yeah, anyway, just trust me, there's holes in the end of that. Okay. So, clearing them, what do you do? Well, the first thing is, let's try and get the seat of this a little bit better. So what you do, I'll try and do this with one hand. Should have set this up a bit better, shouldn't I? Like, you know, professionally or something. So, what I'm going to do, wedge that there. Get a bit of myrrh. Now, all this is going to be oily, right? And the reason we're using myrrh is because we want the gentlest grinding compound we can get. And polish is a grinding compound. We want the gentlest we can get, because the less is more with injectors. All we want is, oh my God, focus. All we actually want is for this to be smoothed off. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a drop of myrrh, and look how it just captures on the end. Look at that. Okay, so it's basically drizzling down to the end. Even if you get it right up here on the bit that you don't want to get it on, like look, up there. See, that's the bit you don't want to get it on. Watch this, it'll just flow off and drip to the bottom. I'm not going to make you wait for that to flow down, but the idea, right, is that up at this top piece here, yeah, sorry, that top hole there, where this seals at the top, you do not want to take any metal off that or polish that, because that needs to be as tight as it can be without, you know, the pin being, So, what we're going to do is we're going to take a drop of that, and then even if you miss, it's not going to stick to the sides, it's going to drip down. So it dribbles down inside to the tip. This one not so much because, see it going? Oh God almighty, such a professional. Anyway, trust me, it drips down. The reason this one's not going so quickly is because I've cleaned it with brake parts cleaner, which means that it's lost a load of the oil. But when it's nice and oily, nice and diesely, it drips straight to the bottom. And then, right down here at the tip, the only piece you want to grind, you've got grinding compound. Get your drill. Hang on, I'll pause. I should pause this and I'll show you. Get your drill. Spin it. And yeah, just grind down on that. Go both ways. And lap that tip in using the drill, obviously. Can't do it with one hand, but still you get the idea. Hold on to that, spin the drill, and that will lap that out. Now, as soon as you've lapped that out, you haven't emptied the holes first. You haven't unblocked the holes first. You unblock the holes second. And the reason for that is you may dislodge some crap by doing this. Now, to unblock the holes, I'll get this out and I'll show you. First job is to get your brake parts cleaner. Hang on. First job is to get your brake parts cleaner and to spray it through the nozzle. Hang on. That was empty. That's no good for us. There we go. Now if you get all 4 holes going, all are good. If you don't, the trick, and I can't do it on this just yet because and be aware of this, can't do it on this just yet. Oh, I'm going to get complaints about shaky video again, aren't I? What you do is you heat the tip, the very, very tip, with a blow lamp for a moment. So heat the tip, and then repeat with the brake parts cleaner. By the way, one of the worst mixtures you can put together is brake part cleaner and a blow lamp. Okay, so you actually need to let it dry off. So you need to be doing this, you need to get all 4 out, and you need to be doing all 4, and by you spraying it directly down that centre hole, by the way. You need to get your all 4 out so that you can let this dry off before you wave a blow lamp at it, because you'll be covered in brake parts cleaner, so will the part, and it'll all just be hell. So, after all this faffing about, what kind of quality of injector can you expect? Let me put one in the jig and I'll show you. I'm actually quite pleased with myself because this one, check that out. Yeah, there's no squeak or tick 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 noise, but that's pretty good. Let's look at another one I've done. I've done 4. Here's another one. I'm pretty pleased with that one too, actually. And of course, there's always one. So, yeah. I mean, oh, hello. That one should come right. Hey. Right, okay, some things to mention here, okay? You're sending out atomized diesel. You want to be doing this outdoors with the wind blowing the other way, because otherwise you will be breathing in vast quantities of this stuff, and it is vile. The blow lamp mixed with the diesel, mixed with the brake cleaner, you need to take some care. The pressures involved here, if you decide to stick your finger beside this injector, it will have you. What else? That's about it, really. Don't be scared of them. Don't be scared of them. Get your drill, get your mur. Don't be using lapping compound. Less is more with injector tips, okay? You could just buy new injector tips. Hey, they're 20 quid each. So what's that, 80 quid? Jesus. But you've got a 6-cylinder, it's even more. You know, they're a lot of money. So, you know, if you're getting an old diesel and you're talking, first of all, oil filters, you know, blah, 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 injector tips. Oh my God. So anyway, there we are, guys. I hope that helps. I know it's a bit, I know my video quality is crap, and yeah, I can show you the other stuff that people say, right? Okay, so look, you want to be making sure you want to get the pressure up to where it should be, then you wind this handle to get it up, and then it should go tick, tick, tick at the very pressure it should be. It should go like, you should actually be able to use the hand wheel to go tick, tick, tick out of the end, but this is a real world. That injector might do it, and a brand new nozzle would do it, but who can afford brand new nozzles? I mean, maybe you can. If so, why are you here? So yeah, there we are. Cheers, guys. Hope that helps.